Hello, everybody, and the land down under. This is Kurt Deimer. It's my pleasure to be here, and be sure you check out my new single "Doom," streaming everywhere. Came out August 11th. Call your local radio, have them play it. And I can't wait to get to Australia to rock out for all of you. And I have two movies coming out uh, here in 2024: "Scared to Death," starring me, Lynn Shay, and Bill Moseley, and then "Hellbilly Hollow." That's my horror franchise that I star in. So it's very nice to be here. Thank you for having me, Kris.
My pleasure, Kurt. Thanks for joining us, brother. As you say, man,
Always, man.
You released the single "Doom" back on August the 11th, mate. So she's been out for a couple of months now. So how's it been received?
It's doing well everywhere. We're getting radio play around the States. I don't know about other countries. We're playing it live in concert. It's also featured in my movie Hellbilly Hollow in the epic final scene of that movie. So, and that's why I originally had written the song. And it's just a slammer, man. And it's just bringing rock and roll to the world the way I do it. And hopefully everybody sees it doesn't sound like everything else. And it's the Kurt Deimer way. So.
So can you dive into it a bit deeper musically, mate? Like what were you going for musically with it?
Well, we needed a good epic song for the final scene of Hellbilly Hollow, and I wrote the song originally, for the movie. That's what inspired it. And you can have a lot of doom in a horror type movie that's scary, and a lot of scenarios that create that doom feeling. But I also write to try to help people realize other things that are going on in the world and things I've been through in my life. And I wanted to also point out that, drug abuse, whether it's heroin or cocaine or any drug of choice, pills, whatever, can also create doom in one's life. So I wanted to intertwine real life and the dooms that you could experience on a day-to-day basis, along with the doom you could feel from a horror movie. So that's what inspired me to write the lyrics that I did and create the video that I did that you can check out on YouTube, is because not only is it a fitting song for the movie itself, being horror in the last scene of the movie, and we play the whole song, but I wanted to bring awareness to the fact that a lot of us are facing doom in everyday life from drug addiction.
And you mentioned that the song is for the final scene from the movie, Hellbilly Hollow, mate. So how does it actually fit into the storyline?
It's kind of like one of my favorite horror movies is The Devil's Rejects by Rob Zombie,
yeah.
and they put Free Bird in at the end. When they're getting shot at in the car, which was an epic scene to me. And we're kind of walking away in this final scene, and it's a very doom scene, if you will. So I just, instead of using somebody else's music, being an artist and touring all over the country and soon all over the world, I wanted to share one of my songs that I wrote that could make an impact on people's lives instead of just taking one that people had already heard. So that's why I thought it would be a great way to parlay, my music along with my creative side in movies as well, and just seemed very fitting.
Did you write music for the whole soundtrack, mate, or is it just that one song on there?
Yeah, on the soundtrack, there'll be a couple songs by a band called the Y Store. I'm good friends with Kris, and then there's one song by Drowning Pool, and then all the rest of the songs in the movie are Kurt Deimer songs that you could find on my EP Work Hard, Rock Hard, or anywhere you stream music. Some of the singles from there, and a couple that were never released until the movie. So it's mostly Kurt Deimer songs that you can find and stream anywhere you stream music, and then some new ones. And it's going to be a great soundtrack. It's rocking, man. And then my movie Scared to Death that I just shot, that'll probably come out first with Bill Moseley and Lynn Shay. I wrote the title song for that, Scared to Death, which people will trip out on. And I also have another song in that movie, but that movie's crazy, man. It's going to come to theaters for sure. So,
oh, hey, tell us a bit more about the movie Hellbilly Hollow that Doom's from, mate. Like, it's actually part of a franchise that you started a few years ago. So, give us a bit of history on it.
yeah, it's a franchise. I wrote the original one with everybody with Bernadette Peters and Kevin Wayne to realize that it will be a franchise, because I was in Halloween 2018, got killed by Michael Myers with Jamie Lee Curtis when they rebooted that from the original franchise that John Carpenter had started. So I was in Halloween sitting there on the set on my desk scene, with Michael Myers, James Jude Courtney, and I'm just thinking, I'm sitting there with this shit all over my face and all the prosthetics to make me look really dead. I can do a horror franchise like Halloween did back in the day. They did that one in 78, I believe. And then now here we are in 2018. So why can't I do the same thing? And that's what inspired me to do Hellbilly Hollow. So I called Kevin Wayne, who's a fellow actor who's from Alabama. Him and I were working on some other smaller film projects at the very beginning of my career when I got back into being in the creative part of my life. And he said, well, I've got this Hellbilly Hollow. There's an actual haunted site in Alabama called Hellbilly Hollow. So we set up the movie. We already had the scenes there and everything to introduce the world to Bull and Tickles. My character's Bull, and Kevin Wayne plays Tickles, my brother. And he can't talk. I'm the only one who can talk to him, and I'm a crazy motherfucker in the movie. And we got campers and lived on the site of Hellbilly Hollow for a month and a half, and shot Hellbilly Hollow in Vincent, Alabama. So, and then the next Hellbilly Hollow 2 will take you back kind of to the origins of how we even ended up in Alabama. So it's really cool, man.
Yeah, bro. And you've also got more than 24 other songs recorded, mate. So are they going to form an album or a soundtrack to another movie or something else?
Yeah, we've got my EP Work Hard, Rock Hard out that we've been touring on. That came out in November of 2021. Got a few singles we put out, like Hero, Have a Cigar, but our cover of Pink Floyd. My dad passed in 2016. So you can check out all those songs. But yeah, I'm getting ready to put out a probably 13 to 15 song double album introducing the world to Kurt Deimer. It'll be our double debut EP or album, not EP. And that'll be coming out early 2024. And we'll be touring with it as well and have copies for the fans and all that, and build a network of stores around the world that you can pick up our music at, or at our website, kurtdeimer.com. So I can't wait. I've been working on this music with Kris, who kind of just discovered me in 2020 when I came out to LA during COVID. And we've only been touring 2 years now. But we created all these songs, and this is probably half of what we've already created that we'll be putting out on this double album. So,
and what about the musical direction of those songs, bro? Are they all similar to Doom, or do they cover a bit of a cross section?
A lot are similar to Doom. It's just my own brand of rock and roll. I stay true to who I am. I don't try to be somebody I'm not. I've got a lot to say in my brain. Instead of going to therapy, I write lyrics for everybody in the world to learn from, because I've been through so much fighting to get to where I am today on my own. Nobody handed me anything in life. I started oil companies before I got back into music, with 40 grand in a checking account that now ship product all over the world. I'm a worker. More you give in the world, the more you get. I believe in positivity and being kind to each other, and it's crazy how it's all just kind of unfolding now. And if Kris wouldn't have discovered, my music when I took it out, my demo out to him that I had started, I don't know where I'd be today. But I'm very grateful for folks like yourself who are having me on down in Australia, other places around the world, and we've only just begun, man. Like I said, we've only been touring 2 years. So
awesome, bro. All right, Kurt. Well, thanks very much for your time tonight, bro. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. The single Doom is out now. Movie Hellbilly Hollow is out next year. You've got Scared Death coming out, mate. You sound like you're going to be pretty busy, so best of luck with everything.
Yeah, and I think you'll find the vibe on the album. We're going to take you on a musical journey. Some of the songs that we've already had out, and then the new ones. I've got another cool cover I'm working on with Jeff Tate, and I really think the folks in Australia will dig it. I might add one thing. My favorite band growing up in the 80s was the Hoodoo Gurus from Australia. So a lot of my
Okay.
influence I take from the gurus. You know the gurus. So
Yeah.
in fact, I told my management, I go get a hold of their camp because I'd love to do an Australian tour with them and open up for them to introduce ourselves around the venues of Australia. So hopefully we'll get that done soon.